Yeah, at first I was like super like when someone DMs you like on it happens like that like right, someone DMs you on Discord and like it's like, whoa, is this 2D or is it Mars or something like that, or Juno who organizes for Sanctum 2, and like, whoa, big person talking to me, and then like you're like scared what the message will be, but you will always be excited, so you click on it and like, whoa, it's an invitation or something like that. It's crazy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and our guest is.
Hey, I'm Medlish, DJ.
Oh, thank you very much for joining us, Medlish. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
you
me.
being here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
huh?
So, what is it you do here in the virtual world, and how did you get started?
Well, how did I get started? Basically, I had this Valve Index lying around from. I think I was an early adopter with like the older headsets, and then I played like Half-Life Alyx and stuff like that, right? And then the headset just lay there, right? And then there was like this video on YouTube about the virtual reality clubbing scene, yeah, in Vrchat, and it looked very interesting to me. And I kind of let that sit in my head for some time because I was like, do I want to try this? I don't know. It's like a bit weird and everything, right? Like social VR was something for me which was a little bit off-putting because I'm not that great in social situations, and like virtual reality, I just wanted to have like single player games basically.
Hmm.
And let it sit in my head for a while, and then was like one day was like, okay, let's just try it out. I mean, what can go wrong, right? So I went inside and I went to Resumo, which is a great club and it's still going strong. It's one of the earliest ones as far as I know. And yeah, just went there, was like really excited, and yeah, we had live DJ there and everything. My first contact in VRchat basically, and was already a clubbing thing, and Opsec was playing as far as I remember, and yeah, just had a really nice time there at start. And from there on, I think it's probably the same for everyone. It's very important to find like that first initial friend group, I think, just to don't feel that lost. Everybody needs like someone to take them along a little bit because what's the social etiquette here? How do I do stuff? Like everything is a little bit weird. Like even if it comes to like finding good words, it's basically still mouth propaganda, I feel like, to like on Twitter or like with friends or something like that, right? And yeah, I found like a really nice friend group, and got invited to like a Discord server. The person is called Eppo. Eppo is still active in the scene. He does worlds, does events. He's a DJ now too, which is cool. And yeah, I hung around with these guys a lot. And then I kind of migrated from there into like the dancing scene a little bit. There's like VR dancing, and I spent a lot of time there. And then one day, like I even bought full body after that, right? Like for dancing, which was like really cool to try it out the first time, right? But anyways, like then my headset suddenly broke, like the headset, not the cable, and I had to send it back, and yada yada. Took like forever, like took like months or something, and I was like, what can I do now, right? I'm fixed on this VR chat stuff. Like I don't want to hang around on desktop. No, like bad feelings or anything, but it's not for me. Like I want to be in VR, just have this interaction, like if I want to socialize, right? So and I was like, what can I do now? And then back then, like lots of DJs still were like DJing on desktop. I mean, there's still lots of them who do, but it's getting more and more into like VR. Anyways, and I was like, okay, wait, I like music, I like clubs. I never had like at home where I live in real life, like too many friends who liked that and didn't go too much to clubs. But I was always interested in the scene and like electronic music. And I was like, okay, let's just try this. Let's get a simple controller and let's start it off, right? And then, well, I went from there, I guess. So basically, I have to thank Valve for putting out very easy to break headsets. That got me started with the DJing, basically. That's the origin story of Medlish.
Oh, wow. So, back when you got started, what about VRChat stood out to you that made you want to stay? What was the thing that grasped you?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the answer everyone gives. It's just the friends, like really, really cool people here. Some people are really cool, like really good friends nowadays. I met a lot of people in real life too nowadays, which I never imagined at the beginning. I always wanted to have like a separation between that because, like, you see the avatar and then you meet them for the first time in person. That can be a bit awkward, and it was like off-putting to me. I just wanted to have it separated, but in the end, there was nothing to fear, and it was super cool. So
Hmm.
definitely that, and just hopping in, like I'm old, I don't go out as much anymore, especially like during the week, right? My friends in real life, they're all scattered across like Germany where I live, and it's hard to like to go to them even during the weekend. They're all occupied with other stuff too, so it's nice to just be able to hop on like during the week, even put on the headset, find some friends, watch a movie, watch something, whatever, just talk a little bit. That's so cool. I love that. Just those kind of chill hangout things, and that's what would grab me basically.
Hmm.
Here
And
you go, line. Here goes this question. I gotta ask it.
do it.
When you first came onto VR, knowing it's the beginning and not further down, when you first came into VR, what was the weirdest thing that you saw when you got on VR and you just going, oh no, oh gosh, no, I gotta go. Oh, whoa. Wow, this is weird, off the wall shit.
Well, like yeah, the whole head patting thing and everybody getting like super close and stuff like that. That was like, whoa. Those people are very touchy.
Touchy. Hope they don't steal my
It
car
wasn't bad.
keys. God damn it, I just got it paid off, you bitch. Stay out of my pockets. Yeah, I got you. I understand that.
Yeah, like at first it's like so weird, but you get like a human gets used to stuff like so easily. You get like used to that so easily too. Like within a few weeks, like okay, that's normal. And you bring some friends over and you show them VRchat, and you see like, yeah, these people are head patting each other. And they're like, what? And you're like, no, that's normal. What do you mean?
That's normal. Hell, you get that. You don't get that in the real
It's some
world. But
friends
in
with
here,
each
you go,
other.
"Hi, how you doing? I can't shake your hand, but I'll pat you the shit out of you all fucking day long. How you doing? How you doing?" And then everybody going,
Yeah.
"What the
Exactly,
fuck
yeah.
is wrong with this guy? He's got a twitch. It just doesn't go away. He just pats the piss out of you for fucking all night. Don't worry about him. He'll disappear in about 10 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, he'll go to the next person."
I'd say things like
Yeah, yeah.
head padding as a simple example, or even a lot of things like raves and what you do in DJing, makes it really hard to tell people on the outside or explain what's going on, whether you're partying with a Patrick or why there's a large group of people head patting as a greeting, whatever it may be. I find it very hard to explain to, like, I want to say normies.
It is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey,
But thankfully,
Lion,
like all the friends
what?
had. Yeah, go ahead.
It's better than actually, at least they're patting and not going up and sniffing your butt. Or like somebody we talked earlier, if you don't wash behind your ears, it smells like ass. I don't know where that fucking come from, but she'll be on here and we'll ask that question when she shows up. Yeesh.
Watch. A lot of people just stopped the video, scratched their back of their ear, and sniffed it. I know you did.
Sniffed your finger. Does this smell like my butt? Hey, does this smell like my ass? I just itched my ear. I just want to know. Boy,
Mm.
that would be funny. Try a new trend.
Mm. So, do you
Yeah,
find it?
thankfully, all the friends I brought over to test it, like they were like super open-minded, and they were like, "Yeah, that's cool, let's chill."
Mm. So,
But like some of them didn't have like the VR, which was more funny. Like some of them didn't have their VR feet or legs or whatever you call it, right?
mm.
And like one person was like running around, jumping down somewhere and something like that. Like I'm like, dude, chill out, take it slow, right? You were gonna get sick, and he was like getting sick. He was really good though, right? He was like nailing all the controls like within minutes, and but he was feeling sick like after like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, VR tends to do that, but at least that feeling of cyber sickness goes away fairly quickly. It's like maybe after like a week of using
Yeah.
it, your body gets used to it. Something like that.
Yeah. For me, it was like I already like experience from like Alex and what's the other first-person shooter game called where you can climb and shit. That thing that helped
Oh,
me a lot with it, I guess.
You know, the funny thing is, you'd ask me any other day, I'd be able to tell you, but I'm having a massive brain fart. I can't tell you for shit right now.
Same. I'm so bad at
Old
remembering
shit
shit.
setting in. Old shit setting in. Old age is catching up with you, Lion. You're gonna be fucked
Shut
just
up,
like
you.
I am. Okay. That's just but it's true. It's goddamn true.
The only problem I had in like Vrchat was still the smooth turning. I had like the angle turning like for the longest time, and there's only one fucking reason why I switched over to smooth turning, because VR Dancing World. I don't know what they did, like the creators there, like Mixi and Chats, man. They they had the world in a way that everything was like rotated slightly off the like normal like 90 degrees would have in the editor or something, right? So whenever you were like dancing towards like the mirror, you were always like with the angle turn option, were always like 5 degrees or something off, and it drove me insane. Like I was, you either go like 5 degrees in this direction, like 10 degrees in this direction. Like, can I not just look straight at the mirror, please? And yeah, so I was like, okay, let's try the smooth turning thing. Everybody is having it anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, I switched it first to smooth turning myself because I found the snap turning to be really weird. Like I didn't like it. It kind of made me feel sick doing it. Like I could do smooth turning
Oh,
so much easier than snap.
really? That's interesting to hear. Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
feel like the turning is one of the most sickening things ever. Like, especially if you do it slow. Like, oh, I remember like this one world where you could sit on a swing, right? And the swing was so slow, and the slowness, I think it just made it so much worse. Like, I was feeling sick with like a minute or something. Like, fuck this, fuck the swing. We're gonna do something else.
Yeah. I think I got over the VR sickness quickly, but whenever I used snap turning for me, it was just the weirdest feeling. I didn't like it. I felt like my entire vision was just forced into another perspective,
Oh
and I
yeah.
did not like it. Like every game when I started VR, whether it be Half-Life Alyx or Seiyu, I would look for smooth turning and smooth motions just because it was easier. At least on the brain.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit weird. It's a bit scarring and less immersive, I guess. Yeah. Anyway.
So what what was some of your very first shows as a DJ like? Like where did you play and what was your experience?
Yeah. Like when I started out, at least from my perspective, right, I didn't know what was I getting into. Didn't have many connections to other DJs or to clubs or whatever. But from my perspective, it was like in the U scene, the one big thing was just party, and they're still going strong. And then basically, if you wanted to go anywhere else, you would have to go to the Rizumu launchpad and play there once. And if you like accept it or something, like if people like that, then people are more open to booking you. But there was like DDVR, just party, and Rizumu from my perspective. These were like the three big things from my perspective. I guess like if you're a person from the US right now or something, you will like shout at me or something, I don't know. Or like people will be, there were these clubs as well and stuff like that. But that's what I had in mind basically. And the first club I've ever played was just party then. So yeah, very nice people and still one of my like I feel like it's my home base and yeah, it's cool people, very nice atmosphere. The club owners like more the I mean they have like lots of other stuff now to help them out, but back then was very like vibe in a way, like more the house genres or disco or something like that. So very positive too, which was really nice. And yeah, I still play there
Oh wow.
whenever I get the chance.
So because of that positive atmosphere and experience is what helped you continue on being a DJ?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be a DJ without the scene, basically, right? Actually, before I became DJ in here, I had like a little bit of meddling into DJing, like by myself, one mouse and keyboard, and like a freeware program called Mix with Triple X. It's pretty good actually for starters. And yeah, but I never had like this. I needed like this the social aspect of it as well, right? If you do like by yourself have a mix, then you're like great, but what now, right? So I want to see what other people put on the table, what other people DJs. I want to see people dancing. I want to see people have fun, talk to each other. I want to see cool clubs, right? And I get everything of that in VRchat. So that's what kept me going. Everything, the whole aspect.
Have you ever had any experiences DJing in real life since you started?
Not really at a club, but I brought my at these where we met up at the meetups. I brought my DJ deck sometime, which was really nice. There's a fun story to that too. I was getting so drunk out of my mind during that. And everybody who was coming by was like, "Yeah, here, come on, try this," which was fun. And then there was the thing happening where we didn't have any good equipment or anything. We just had this Bluetooth speaker or something like that, and then the connection just stopped working from my laptop to the thing, and I was so drunk I couldn't get it to work again, and then I just laid down on the floor right there, I don't care anymore. And then a friend of mine was getting concerned and splashing water in my face, right? And I didn't even remember that. I got up the next day, I was like, oh, I feel like shit, and I had to spend 4 hours towards the evening in the bed. And then soon, when I got up, everything, and then the dude came up to me and was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry to have splashed water in your face." And, I thought, I was concerned. Dude, what are you talking about? I don't even remember that. Should have just not said anything, right? And there was no reason to apologize anyway. Right?
At least the guy splashed water in your face, didn't pour it in your crotch, so you woke up going, "Oh shit. Wow, I had to go, man. Holy Christ. Wow. I had to put it out. It's all wet now. God damn." Yeah, that'd be a bitch. Been there, done that. That's not fucking funny. A lot of people did it to me. Yeah, fair rule. You pass out first, you're fair game. Rule of drinking.
Yeah.
Straight up. First SOB to pass out gets fucking picked on. Oh, boy. I usually was the first one to drop. Yeah, it scares the shit out of you. You wake up and hope God you don't have a wet spot in your crotch. And you're going, what the fuck? And hope your pants are on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So between the experience of the real life deck with the meetup and VR, do you have any idea which you like better? Or if there's any difference between the two?
I mean, I guess the real life experience feels still more closer, even if you have all the VR stuff already. I mean, for example, eye tracking would help a lot, but still, I think there's always a little bit of closeness missing what you get in real life for free. But on the other hand, in VR chats, you can just have these amazing clubs and everything, and so many people at one point, which all have the same kind of preferences in a way. I mean, there's so much underground stuff being played, and you can in most clubs you can play what you want basically, or play something which is not that what do you say, popular. It doesn't need to be future house or something like that, which everyone enjoys. And you can go really underground and people will still like it. And I think that's maybe something, even if I would go into the real life route and play at clubs or something like that, which I don't intend to do because it's just too much effort for me at this point, I guess. I'm getting old. And yeah, so that's the thing too, I guess. So I think from what I heard, clubs in real life, they have more strict rules when it comes to that, right? What they want you to play. And here, we have this really good underground scene, and that's definitely something I really like.
Well, I will ask, what's the underground scene in VRchat like? I've seen some clubs that we've talked to and I've been to, but I haven't been too far deep. What's the underground VRchat scene like?
I mean, I guess most clubs are pretty underground. Yeah, if you hear anything else than dance or house music or dance floor drum and bass, I guess that's already going towards the underground scene. I would say that's my take on it. So I mean, all the big clubs here, whatever, Tube, Shelter, Sanctum, even if it's Nero, I mean, it's getting more and more popular in real life. but it's still underground compared to what you have like in most clubs, especially where I'm from. Like in South Germany, there's nothing basically. The people play like pop and R&B at clubs or something like that, or some weird like German music. But yeah, not really like too electronic in that case.
So, do you find yourself liking the VR chat clubs more or the real life clubs, like as a goer?
As a goer, definitely VRchat somehow, yeah, because I enjoy the music more. I mean, I've not been to too many clubs in real life, and with what I have here around here, it's not too much to choose from anyway. And from what I've heard, like the skill of the DJs here is pretty good. Like compared to the real life scene, I feel like we are somehow better. If I can say that, I don't know. Like not, I mean, of course, there's like super good DJs in real life too, but like on the average, I would say like people definitely put the work in here, and it shows. And I think one reason for that is that they can have so many gigs like during a year. It's like impossible to do this in real life. Just get the experience, I guess. And I mean, it's just drop in, drop out. That's nice, right? You can have your drink on your table, like you don't spill it anywhere. Like people don't like step on your feet or something like that. So no lying on the toilets, whatever. So I definitely enjoyed it. And what I really don't like is too many drunk people in one place, especially like in real life. In VRchat, it's okay. Like you can just, it's not that close, right? But in real life, I don't really like that either.
Yeah, well, at least for like on the skill with DJs, we were talking with actually in many of the other DJs and musicians we've talked to, some of them brought up some good points where in VR chat, and you kind of you mentioned as well, you have the ability to do a lot of shows here. Like there's so many options for you to do on a regular basis. You're able to attune yourself to your skill set in a way most people have to wait like what a couple of times a year to do in real life.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I mean, I actually counted this for my first year, how many gigs I had. It was, I'm not sure entirely what the number was something like especially like, oh, it wasn't like even, I'm not sure. It was a couple of hundreds, I guess, something like that. Somewhere between 100 and 300, whatever. Like on average, I think it's like 2 gigs a weekend, and then you have like, you go to a vacation somewhere and you miss out. Like, so it should be somewhere like, I don't know, the number of days. Wait, yeah. So yeah, double the number of weeks, I guess. Yeah, which would be like, what's it, like 52, 51 weeks a year, something like that. So
yeah, 52 weeks
around
a year.
100 gigs, I guess.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and so yeah, I don't think that's very easy to do in real life. Like I have no experience about that, but I would say that's very hard to do.
I can only imagine the amount of places you'd have to go in real life a year and the amount of flights and drive time you'd have to make just to reach that many, like 2 gigs a year, and the amount of dedication you'd need in order to make those. I can only imagine, but in VR chat, it's just change worlds. There you are, good to go, more or less.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, sometimes you have those back-to-back gigs in the way that you have to jump from one place to the other. That's always a bit like stressful because you have to sometimes switch your like streaming link. Sometimes the world is full and you have to wait for a little bit, or you're scared the world is full. You have to get up on the stage somehow. Maybe there's a code you need to put in. You have to look through Discord to find the code or something like that. So yeah. So I always want to have like at least 1 hour or something in between, like one slot of playing.
So what in the throughout your your career here in VR chat, what kinds of things did you learn and what were the hardest ones to pick up?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. The hardest one to pick up is definitely don't feel bad about yourself if there's not too many people on the dance floor. That's something I guess everyone has to learn eventually, especially in VR chats, because it's also as the like then people on the floor, right? It's so easy to hop around. And sometimes just people leave in drops. And sometimes it's very often it's not like your fault or anything. And then it's like you and maybe the organizer and one other person just chilling there, and you just gotta make the best out of it too. I mean, it can be like definitely a saddening experience. I had times like this, like multiple gigs in a row, and was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. This hurts too much, right? But yeah, no, like, I mean, it still happens sometimes, I guess, but I still don't feel it as bad. It doesn't feel as bad anymore, right? It's something you have to get used to, I feel like, and just to deal with yourself. Come back to like the basics. Why am I doing this even? Like, is it for me or is it because I want to be popular or whatever? Like, it comes back to this question. I have to like do a little bit of soul searching too, I guess.
So
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi, folks. You folks come and join us on our social and on our Discord. We would love to see you there. We have a Patreon, and we have 2 people that have signed on, Training Fangs and Zero. And I hope we get to see you there, folks. We appreciate the time and effort that you make. And my ball's getting out of here because it needs new rubber. Bye.
is that a common thing for DJs to the reasons they become DJs, whether it be popular because they enjoy the music?
I think from the vibe I get, definitely like most people really enjoy the things they're doing. But of
Okay.
course, there's always the cloud thing going on a little bit in VRchat. Like people want to play popular clubs, and I mean, of course, I do want to do, and I mean, I did, so I'm happy now. But yeah. The thing is, the funny thing is, like, you always strive for those goals, like playing at Sanctum or playing at Shelter. And once you've played, they like you have this drive, and whenever like someone else plays there, you like have this jealousy coming up, but you still want to be happy for them. But once you played there, like it's like, okay, this was cool. I really enjoyed it. Very thanks very much for inviting me and stuff like that. But it just feels more grounded. It's not like it doesn't feel that high anymore, right? Like it's a super high goal somewhere. It feels like that was nice, that was cool, but it's not like, I mean, I've made it like this is the biggest thing ever, and like at least not for me, right? So what this kind of grounded me back, like in a reverse way, that it feels like, okay, look, I have some friends who didn't play there yet, and they always like say, I mean, it's not the biggest, it's not the most important thing in your career to play that, right? There's like lots of other gigs which can be super beautiful and everything. Like it shouldn't be like your main goal, but I guess it, for me, it still would be if I wouldn't have played there. So I guess it's just how the mind works, I guess. If that makes sense, I don't know. That was lots of rambling right there.
No, honestly, it's more than fun. If you want to ramble about things, perfectly fine. You actually answered a lot of my questions as they popped up in my head as you spoke, so I definitely appreciate that. Once you've played those top goal places, did you find yourself making new goals, or how did you settle and deal with that?
No, actually not. Funnily enough, I don't know how the other people do it, but I didn't set myself new goals. I have like this list of clubs in my mind and events in my mind where I want to play. But right now, like after I did this year, I did a lot of these cool clubs. I was like, okay, I feel super like chill and comfy where I am, and I don't need anything big coming up or like top myself even more, right? Because it's just a rat race, just topping yourself up. Like there must be an end to it somewhere, right? So that's unhealthy. So I'm super happy I played like all those clubs and these events. But right now I didn't set any new goals. Like I have a few clubs remaining where I definitely want to play sometime, but it's not that urgent anymore for me.
As you mentioned earlier that once you got into one of those places, you felt grounded. What was your feeling like when you finally got into one of those places?
Yeah, at first I was like super like when someone DMs you like on it happens like that, like right, someone DMs you on Discord, and like it's like, whoa, is this 2D or is it Mars or something like that, or Juno who organizes for Sanctum 2, and like, whoa, big person talking to me, and then like you're like scared what the message will be, but you will always be excited. So you click on it and like, whoa, it's an invitation or something like that. It's crazy. And you're like super happy, of course. It's awesome.
Okay.
So yeah. So like the initial thing is like so funny, and then you, of course, you like, okay, I have to prepare something extraordinary, right? You put together some set. There's a lot of stress. That's what like a good friend of mine is going through right now. He's gonna play Shelter this weekend also they the Sanctum pop-up for Maz's new track. Merles is doing that, like, yeah, that's my friend. And yeah, right now he must be super stressed out, like putting like the best sets he ever does out and whatnot.
I can only
So
imagine.
yeah, you
stress.
definitely like lots of stress, and then you have to like the thing is like you come into like there's like a meetup time before, like you're just in private or something, just hanging out. Then a portal drops. It's like the door is open portal right into the group instance or whatever, public instance, friend instance, whatever. Like, and you go in there, and this is normally like half an hour or an hour before that even or something like that, and then you still have to wait and you have to wait for your gig, right? And this is like where you kind of get like insane. You check your equipment like thrice and your place like 5 times and you whatever everything, you check everything like multiple times. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just so what is it, like stage fright a little bit, right? Which is funny. But then in the end, like once you are on the decks and you're in 5 minutes into your set, and everything just becomes amazing, I feel like.
So what kinds of things does it take to prepare for a set, may I ask you? For you?
Sure. So for me, I do it like in 3 different ways. There's like one where I just hop into it and just don't prepare anything. I mean, there's like some preparation going on, I guess, before that. I find tracks, I download them, I put in cue points for myself to just make it my life easier to work with the tracks. You need to run it through key detection software, whatever, right? And then tag it correctly, maybe. And then I have like different crates. For example, I have a crate called Bass House, so I just go somewhere and just want to play a little Bass House. I just go into this crate and just start playing one song I really like right now, which might be fitting, and just go from there and just while I'm playing it, listen to it, and then select the next track and just do it like however I want, right? Just feel the flow of the night. This is the easiest one. Then the second one is like kind of a pre-selection where you are like, okay, I want to play somewhere and it should be one of those tracks, but not too many tracks. I don't want to select like track from like 300 tracks, maybe like go down to like whatever 100 or 60 tracks or something like that. And or maybe like you prepare like a set list already in like an ordered one and just go through that, but you don't have like a preparation in a way that you know when you want to transition from one track to the other. It's like something in the middle between. And then what I did personally for like my bigger gigs, I definitely put in the work, like practicing the set, actually setting the cue points where I wanted to transition. So everything was basically like pre-configured in a way that I knew, okay, I'm gonna play this song from here to here, then I'm gonna start playing this song, then I'm gonna do my transition. I might double up the tracks. I'm gonna fade out track somewhere here maybe. Then I'm gonna load the next track, right? So very, very defined, very defined way. It definitely takes out a lot of the what's it called, like the thing of the moment, right? That you can just do what you want. It also kind of makes you, I think, how do you say this? You get used to the set a lot, right? Because the way I do it, I practice it a lot before, like a couple of times. Sometimes I need to tweak it, right? So like if I do that, I want to make it really good. So you need to put some tracks out, put another track in. Maybe the set is too long, maybe it's too short. You need to adjust it here and there, whatever. And this takes a long time when you really want to do it like this. And then in the end, you have played the set so much, it's like it becomes a little bit boring too. That's the thing, right? I mean, like if you would listen to the same album like every day, like whatever, like 3 times a day or whatnot, then you would get like bored of it too, right? So sometimes when you're there, it's like I can finally play it, and it's over. But then again, once you're on the like in the club on the decks, it's still different because you have all the people around you. This gives you more energy again. You enjoy the set more again. But during the practice phase, it just goes down like this. Your motivation. That's what I feel at least. So like, so I don't want to do that every time, right? So for like just a normal club night, what I would say, like not the bigger clubs, I just hop in, do it by ear, and that's really cool. That's really nice.
So first of all, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna seem kind of stupid. What is a crate? May I ask?
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
It's not
Okay,
a
crate is
crate that you
basically
eat,
I
and
I
it ain't
could
something
a
you
crate of
ship in.
chocolate or something.
A crate of chocolate.
I can figure that much.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking.
And basically like a folder on your PC, right? Like a directory, put the stuff
Ah.
in, and then that's it. And what you can do with like the DJ software, you can just filter by different tags or something. You could say like, okay, from all my tracks I have in my whole collection of my whole existence here, make me a crate for everything which is drum and bass, and then you can just go from there. Or you can just manually put like tracks into like a manual crate and be like, this is all my cool selection of tracks. It's more effort, but if I want to do something nicer, I just go there.
Mm.
Right, something like that. And I use the terminology creative in a position to like playlists. For me, like when I do a playlist, it's like ordered. Like I have a certain sequence I want to go through, and the crate is like a loose collection, and there's no order to it. Even though in Recordbox, the program I use, even the like everything is a crate. There's no actually playlist, but I just read it differently, I guess.
Mm. Oh,
It's like a thing in my mind.
well, thank you for explaining that. I'm glad that I'm able to
Sorry.
get an answer.
Yeah, I should have maybe explained a little bit in between there.
Oh, no, it's perfectly okay. That's why I'll ask you questions. I'm I'm very glad you explained that. It helps me kind of catch up a little bit because I've never messed around with DJ software or anything like that. So a lot of these terms I may not know or how to use them. So I'll ask you some pretty dumb questions sometimes, like what is a crate, so I can catch up a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's good.
So how does DJ software and VR chat work together generally? How do most places do that?
So, in opposition to like real life DJing, I guess, like in real life DJing, it goes to like huge speakers, right? And there's some mixing in between. They have like specifically sound people in there for that. For us, it just goes into the cloud, basically, into the internet. You have like your streaming link, you stream to that link, and then someone else picks it up in the world, puts the link into the player, and there we go, basically. So most people, I guess, do it completely in software. There's some people who pick up the signal from their DJ controller as a what's it called, analog signal, and pull it back into their PC and digitalize it again and put that in, which means more equipment, but sometimes also a bit easier handling because, well, if you want to stream your music but not your like Windows sounds or something, you definitely need to take care of this. You need to split like your audio sources, right? So you need to say to your PC, only stream please what comes out of the record box and not what comes out of VRChat, which I did once. I streamed my whole. No, wait, I streamed like I didn't stream VRChat, but I actually had my own Twitch stream open in the background. It just played the same music and then like this echo effect going on. And I noticed it like to the fucking middle of my set and was like, where is this echo coming from? I don't know. You have like some effects on. I checked all the effects like, and I was like getting so antsy, like, what's going on? And at the end of my set, I was like so down, like I don't figure it out where it came from. Everybody had that like slight echo everywhere the whole time. And I just like closed the record box window, and in the background the browser popped open and I saw my own stream. I was like, oh my god, I'm so dumb.
Is there a learning curve for a lot
That's
of that stuff? I take it. Was a question.
There's a learning curve, definitely. Yeah. So there's different ways to do it. Like what I do is like I have a record box, then I have like a program called Voice Meter, which handles like different. You can have different inputs and different outputs. So like virtual cabling system. It's kind of complex, but you can combine signals and stuff like that. And that's what I use. So and you have different input and outputs, right? So I say to record box, please output your audio into the input of this thing, and then I just take this stream and basically put it into like an output thing somewhere, and then the OBS is right, the streaming software picks that thing up and use it. And I also combine it so I can like have a little button somewhere in the software. I can click that and then I can have a voiceover. I can pick up the mic too and combine the mic with the record box signal and put both of them into the stream, right? So I can like have a little thing like, yeah, this last song, everybody, thing going on, which I don't do often. But if I want to do it, I can do it.
Hmm. So what was it like for you in this learning curve in the beginning? Like when you first started doing it, how did you overcome a lot of these hurdles?
Yeah, I still remember like, okay, you buy your deck, you sit it in front of your PC, you put it on with like USB or something, and you're like, okay, here's the DJ software. What now? How does the DJ software work? How does the controller work? That's definitely the biggest hurdle in the beginning. I think this is like where everybody's like, okay, what am I doing here even, right? Um, that's definitely the biggest hurdle. And then after that, of course, you always have to back in your mind. You have to stream it somewhere. How do I pick up the signal and stream it into VRchat? All these shenanigans. Like I didn't even know it back then. Like you get a stream link and then you put the stream link into a player and stuff like that. I had to learn all that kind of stuff. I think yeah, but definitely the biggest hurdle at the beginning is like just getting started with it. And then of course once you have the software a little bit figured out, then the hardware a little bit figured out, it's like, how do I transition from one track to the other? Like, what? But thankfully, we live in the age with like YouTube and shit. So you just go on YouTube with like how to DJ and you press OK and search what, and then you get some really nice tutorials. And that's how I started basically.
What are some of the tutorials that
Just
you
look
started
for-
with? May I ask?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, there was one dude. He also does like DJ competitions and stuff, like really crazy scratching stuff. I don't remember the name of that, but this dude is like a very funny dude. He's very positive and puts out these videos, which helps a lot of people, I think. But don't remember the name right now. But yeah, and basically I started with house. He does a lot of house DJing, I guess. Yeah, house and dance music.
Okay. Was there any?
But yeah, most of it translates into other genres as well, like when it comes to transitioning, especially at the beginning. Like later, things get a bit more different, but at the start, you can deal with that, I guess.
Okay. Was there anyone from within VRChat that inspired you in your process in the beginning to help you continue on?
And there was nobody helping me actively, but well, first of all, who impressed me the first time was definitely Obsec, like the first DJ ever experienced in VRChat. And he had like this really crazy set going on at Resume that night. Said he doesn't play anymore, I think. But then also like who I looked up and still look up for the longest time already, like is Modalon, really good DJ, really good person, and he helps where he can. So yeah. But from what I did, I didn't want to bother anyone, just try to learn it by myself, most of the things.
Wow. That's quite impressive that you would teach yourself. Must have been a really hard thing to pick up, trying to figure out without any instruction.
I mean, actually, it's not that hard to compare to learning other stuff. I feel like once you have to like learning the equipment and the DJ software, like the actual process, it's I feel not too hard if you want to start out slow, right? I mean, I also play the guitar. It's been some time. Thing is collecting dust somewhere, but this definitely feels more like something you would need help with because it's much more intricate, right? With like using the right fingers, using the right grip. What is a good way to hold the strings? How does like not break your arm or something, or make it tedious or something like that, right? With DJing, it's a lot simpler, I guess, than actual live music. So I think, what was the question again?
Oh, no, I said it must have been, that's very impressive of you to teach yourself a skill. Usually
All right.
when it comes to a lot of the time when teaching yourself a skill, like no instruction, maybe there's some like outdated tutorial on whatever that someone finds on a certain thing. You got to teach yourself, where do you start? without instruction, like
I
this
see, I
is the
see. Yeah, yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I think like what you find on YouTube is really great. There's like lots of really good tutorials, especially if you're starting out when you want to progress, I think. Depends on the channel maybe, but I do a lot of things now differently or more complex than what I see on YouTube, I guess. And what also always helps is just be open to trying things out. Like, don't worry about fucking up. Just try it out. If you want to make a transition which is really weird and see if it works, definitely do that. And if it works, keep trying. And you gotta figure out what works and what not works, like when it comes to transitioning or doubling stuff. And that's the most important thing. Just be playful with it, and then you're gonna progress well, I guess.
That's a pretty good point.
That's what I did. Like always, like pick up the basics, go from there, have a little fun. Then I think sooner or later everyone will be like, okay, but what more can I do? Like, what are all these filters? What kind of transitions are there? Like, how do I build a set? Like, you want to go up and down a little bit, something like that, right? Like all the things which make a good set.
Okay. From where you,
I mean, it would have probably been easier if we would have somebody like as a patron, like somebody like a teacher, right? Would tell me some things, but I guess in the end I figured out most stuff by myself, which was also nice. Like it's a nice journey, I guess. To do it by yourself.
Sometimes those journeys also help teach you the most, because when you're struggling with a thing by yourself, sometimes, at least for me, those things stick more than if I was to be instructed or told in a book, these are the steps. But if I remember that one time where I almost blew my computer up trying to do a thing, that lesson specifically is going to stick. Almost guaranteed.
That is true. That is true. That's why I think like experience is so important. Like just play lots of gigs and you're gonna get better in no time. Like that's the best to get good, I guess.
I believe the saying is experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
I probably butchered that. I probably butchered that hard, but
I don't know.
I ain't saying nothing.
It's your own new quote, so you're the owner of this quote. Then.
Yeah, you just made up a new quote. You butcher it, you bury it, and if
I don't think I made
if
that
it don't
up.
work, bury it some more.
I don't think I made that one.
Are you sure?
You can quote him.
You can quote yourself. We don't care. It's all great. Come up with your own thing. Yeah, right. Good luck with that one. I do a lot of that though. Never mind.
Indeed. So another question for you is, after DJing this long, do you see yourself trying to pick anything else up, like music production or something?
Oh, the bane of the DJ. That's what I feel like.
Just beat him to death with that one, didn't you? Son of a bitch! You had to go there.
Like,
damn it!
I don't know how people do it, but like there's some crazy producers out there. You know, I've seen like Mirth, for example, Wood Graves synthesizer, I think. Like lots of great producers out. 2D, of course, and lots of other people, and they do like really great production. Whenever I sit down, I mean, I would have, of course, that's like just a start, but whenever I get down, then everything sounds like ass at the beginning, of course, which means I would need more time for it, but I always told myself I would get to it eventually at like the starting things where I picked it up for like a few days and then like live caught up with some other stuff, be it in real life or be it in gigs in Vrchat, and then I stopped again. And this is not the way you learn things, right? If you do it like 3 days in a row and then you stop for like a month and you pick it up again and you're like, it's at the start point again, right? You're at zero again. So right now for me, like producing is indefinitely on hold. So I'm like, okay, let's not try this. And I don't think I have the talent either way, I guess. It might come up in the future again. What I see more as myself progressing is like right now I'm learning more about, especially if I prepare sets, how do I want to shape the set in a way that it keeps being interested over like the whole set time, right? Be it 1 hour or longer or whatever. For example, if you have like really hard neuro funk and you just play this for 1 hour, everybody's ears is gonna bleed, I think. Like you need to have some variety in it, some diversity to make it interesting. You need to maybe change like the, what do you say? Like there might be like a little bit of percussion here, or maybe like more minimalistic tracks in there, and you should put them in there and then maybe go hard again. Or you wanna, like, what I think about mostly is like going up and down with energy levels. Like that's what I want to do when I build a set. I don't think of specific tracks. I think of how do I wanna shape this one set. What do I wanna do? What's the concept of the set? And a very easy way to do it is like build it up, slow it down a little bit, build it up again, right? But even making that really interesting depends also on your track selection, depends on your mixing, it depends on how long you play breaks and stuff like that, right? Like mixing points. So there's lots of variables in there. So I think actually to make a really good set, it's, at least for me, it's still very hard. But that's the point where I want to improve right now. And then of course go into different kinds of genres. Just play around a lot with that. I don't enjoy being stuck in one genre. I started out with house, and then I went into drum and bass and stayed like in drum and bass, like neurofunk for the longest time. And I was getting sick of neurofunk, I tell you. I was getting so sick of it. I didn't enjoy it. I like at this point where I didn't enjoy playing it anymore. Like I didn't enjoy any gig I had anymore. And I was like, okay, let's just play something else again. Let's play house again. And I was like, wow, house is so fucking beautiful. How could I not play this for so long? And yeah, and then played house and drum and bass. And I was like, okay, I definitely need to do this for myself. Otherwise, I will get bored. Doesn't mean like every DJ works that way, of course, right? There's like tons of great DJs and producers who are like in one genre, like, of course, Mas. And we have like 10XX, right? It's also like just going for drum and bass. We have Kryptonite, who's mostly drum and bass, right? So lots of people are happy with that, and it's great. But it's just not for me. I will not be happy with that. I need like some variety in that.
So, what are some of the?
That's where I'm also like constantly search new like challenges for myself. And I've like lately played more like ambient sets too, which is like very different to mixing what I'm used to, and it's also very interesting to put sets together. Yeah, so that's the way I search challenges for myself, basically.
What are some of the genres you play most in your sets?
So I definitely got like more into neurofunk, so I played it, I guess, at the moment the most. Right, for me, like at the moment, it's like neurofunk, it's the house genres, especially bass house and future house. I don't know if you know the difference. Like bass house is like this very, well, bass heavy sound, which not too many mixes, often vocal samples in there. Makes it super fun to mix in total. Or future house, which is very often you have these very poppy tracks or like remixes of very poppy tracks, like everything you hear in the radio, but basically just with like in-house variant, now in house version of that. And that's really fun because it gives out this really powerful, beautiful vibe too, which is something I enjoy. I play a very less known like genre called hard drum, which is very percussion heavy, but still in a club environment kind of thing way, which I really enjoy. And yeah, lately I've been getting back into deep dubstep, which I really enjoy. It's not too screechy, not going too crazy, but it's like it can be energetic, but it can also be very chill. And it has like this nice, like it's at 140 BPM mostly, so it has this very nice swing kind of dance thing. It's more like, you know what I mean? Like it has this very nice vibe to it, I guess, to make yourself comfortable on the dance floor or as the DJ, which is, yeah. That is what I enjoy. And then I get like in the thing where I now build myself a crate, which is just called club or something. Maybe it's completely wrong, but it's like different mix. It's like gonna be multi-genre. There's some deep dubstep in there, which is but not too screechy, like not too wobbly in a way. So it mixes well with other like bass heavy music, and I put a couple of harder bass house stuff in there, or maybe something more underground. And it's harder to mix in total, but it makes for an interesting set from that perspective too. Yeah, so basically these are like the genres or combinations I play now, I guess.
Okay.
mostly.
So another question for you is, how do you as the DJ like manage the energy of the dance floor, and how do you like from your side of things do that?
Yeah, so if I have a prepared set, like fully prepared, then basically you're just gonna get what I have prepared. I'm not gonna listen to what you're doing there if you're just standing there and just shaking your head, you don't like it or whatnot. I'm gonna not change my vibe. Like I'm gonna be playing this thing. So you're not dancer, you don't matter to me at this moment. No, you definitely matter, but you know what I mean. Like it doesn't change the set. It's not changing the set. But for the more open thing where I'm like just playing it by ear, I definitely am more connected to the audience in the way that I see, okay, do they enjoy it, do it not? From what I heard in real life, it's much easier to see to judge the audience, but you can still do it in Vrchat, I guess, right? People sitting down or they are dancing, that's a big difference, right? It can be hard to judge though where you need to go. Do you need to up the energy level, or sometimes you actually need to go a little bit slower, right? Sometimes like people, that's too much towards the end of the night. For some people, they want to have something more slow, something more sway, and then you maybe actually need to go down with the energy level a bit. I'm not really good at that, to be honest. I'm judging the crowd and just like making my vibe connect to that in a way, I guess. Like the way I do it is I mostly listen to myself. Like, what do I want now? Where would I want to go now? Do I want to stay with the vibe? Do I want to slow down a little bit? Do I want to go harder? And I mean, we're all humans, so we kind of like there's like some base where we're connected in this way where we have like similar expectations, I guess, right? So I guess it aligns with most people. And of course, I see that reflected on the dance floor as well, then, right? And yeah, sometimes people come up and say, like, okay, can we go harder? Then, of course, I'll consider that too, or whatever.
Okay. I believe I remember hearing from somewhere, music is a language everyone speaks, I guess is a way to put it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's correct. I mean, of course, we all. Or I mean, actually, I think there's actually people who don't enjoy music. Might there be a medical condition like that? I think I heard something like that, or maybe I'm confusing it. But well, apart from that, right? I think we all like have some basis of what we enjoy. Like there's like scales and different sounds we enjoy, right? Of course, everyone has their preference, but when we hear music, we mostly recognize it as music, right? And we enjoy it. So there's a very big overlap. So I definitely agree on that. And I think music definitely has some quality which connects us, which like language doesn't. Like the languages we invented in that way, right? So you can have like powerful emotions in your tracks and in your sets and in your dancers when they express their dances. And that's another thing. Basically, it's not the music, right? It's the dance too, but it's also so expressive, right? Which is so awesome. And it's something we have so much which is not verbal communication, but it's still communication, I guess. So I definitely agree on that.
Yeah, especially with communication, body language is just as important as using the word yourself. You can feel a lot more connect to somebody if they're moving and speaking. Kind of like how like there's a joke over here where like a lot of New Yorkers will speak with their hands, although still it helps you connect a little more.
Yeah, it's like the Italians of Europe, right? Like
yeah.
I'm sorry, man. But it's like that.
Yeah, the foreign language that everybody knows, and I'm not going to do it. Figure it out on your own. Gotcha. Everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
The bird in the middle.
But yeah, but you have something important there for me. I feel like I would never enjoy like we had like Second Life and stuff like that. I would not enjoy it because if we want to socialize with someone in a virtual environment, I definitely need something like VRChat where you can like look at the person, you can see them look in your general direction. I don't know what you're doing when you might look somewhere else because you don't have eye tracking, but you mean, and the whole like gesturing, the pose of the body, it's just so much more immersive. And you're right, like it's nonverbal communication is so important to me.
I find myself the same way when speaking with people. Is I much prefer seeing people move. Like I understand if some people like don't and they're just kind of sit there like a dud, not doing anything, but I enjoy getting that feedback from them. Like one of the little details you can tell in a conversation I've picked up is you can tell if someone's into the conversation you're in based upon like two things like feet posture and where their body is pointed. If like for example, if the feet are pointed in a V open, they're generally open to the conversation. If they're facing you when they speak, that also means the same thing. They're into what you're saying. But if their feet are pointed towards a different direction, or if they're speaking to their body like facing an exit, generally that'll tell you like they're not really there. So those little tiny details like that when communicating with people is almost just as important as the words themselves, because a lot of the time the eyes and the body can betray what your mouth does not.
So you're trying to say if I do act like this line, this is okay? You understand what my body
No, you're super interested in the conversation right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm really into it, guys. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but the little things you picked up, I didn't know about that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Well,
I think I just naively take the whole package in, and my brain will process it in a way, so it's gonna be all right.
I grew up a really weird and awkward kid. Like I was never the most sociable butterfly at all. Like, how do I do this thing, this people thing? I was a kid who gamed with my brother in my bedroom. I didn't do parties. I only very recently, like in the last 10 years, started communicating with people. I'm 32, by the way.
Ooh.
Like when I just graduated high school.
Now you have your own podcast, right? So that's interesting turn of events.
Crazy. The funny thing is I first started socializing when my cousin came back from college. He's like, hello, little introvert. We're going on an adventure and off to bars and parties and other stuff. And oh God. But yeah, I tried to pick up on those little things a lot of the time, like body language. How does that affect people? Words. How do I speak? And I'm not trying to like manipulate people. I just wanted to know because I didn't do that. I was like, cool, games, controller, let's go.
Yeah. You don't want to be the person who like keeps talking to someone who's uninterested in your topic, right? Everybody knows a few people like that. Like at work, you need to be like super polite, and it's just like, yeah, okay. Can I please get back on my PC or something? But you don't say that, right? You're just like, I don't know, you have these little things where you're like, okay, and you don't say, like, you don't provide anything more information to the conversation anymore. But it just keep going, like, no. Is this hell?
Indeed. I'm one of the people who does enjoy body language when people speak. I enjoy seeing how people feel. And it's just as important, like as you said, like Second Life, you're just kind of like it's like a flat plane with just an existence, kind of like playing any other video game on a screen.
Yeah.
In VRChat, it's, as you said, it's very much more immersive. It's like the next best thing to speaking with someone in real life, but not really.
Yeah. Not to all it against our deskies though, like we love them, read. And some of the most interesting conversation I actually had with people on desktop. And so said that too, right? It still can be super interesting. It's just like a conversation also has the verbal aspect, of course. So if someone's really good with words and there's an interesting topic you're interested in, it's also good. But yeah. Sadly not everybody can be in VR, right? It's a price thing. It's also a thing to be accustomed to it. Like some people still have the sickness, I guess, and they will never get rid of it, like the motion sickness you get. I think for some people it's nearly impossible to get rid of that. So yeah, it's a bit sad. So
yeah, well, at least for things like price, you can see a lot of headset prices are starting to come down, especially with some of the new ones coming out. They're getting smaller. Things are becoming a bit more affordable to people. So I'd say give it some time and it'd be a much more viable option, especially with Meta. As much shit everyone here wants to give Meta for their companies and their product, they're one of like the few companies out there providing an affordable, viable option for someone who doesn't want to drop $1,000 on a headset, another $2,000 on a PC, another $600 in full body. At least there are other options out there for people. Sort of, we're getting there.
No, I definitely agree. Like, and I haven't had. I think I had a Quest on once, I think, but not too much. And yeah, but from what you can hear, like the quality is really good, right? Like you can drop it, it doesn't break. If you break, if you drop if you drop an index in the wrong way, it's like dust basically. Yeah, so yeah, I'm super happy about that too. Like as much as I don't like Facebook too much, they're definitely putting the work in there. Good products, like you said, price range is really good, and they're putting new products out, right? You can say that from Valve right now, for example. Like we had the index, but we're a second index.
Well, they're working on it. They actually have 2 patents in the making right now. The Galaga, which I believe is a project being worked on in partnership with another company. I can't remember the other company off the top of my head, and that one's like a brain reading headset where it takes, like, supposedly, I may be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Please do. Uh, like EKGs and EEGs, and in one interview that Gabe did, they're doing research in how to read that and translate that to a digital output.
Ooh.
So that's the Galaga. And that's not coming, I don't think it's out soon, but they have the patent and the blueprints for it. You can see at least a blueprint you can see. I don't know if it'll be able to look like or not. And then the one coming out sooner, which is the Deckard, which is Steam's standalone. And that's, I believe, their
Yeah.
attempt at like competing with the Quest. But I will give this.
Everybody's waiting for that.
Yeah. I will say Valve is really good at headsets, and I may be a fanboy for saying this, but it's been years since this Valve Index came out, and it's still one of the #1 headsets you hear, like here in VRChat, people want. It's not the Vario Aero all the time. It's not Meta Quest they want to get to. It's an Index is the #1 thing a lot of people want to turn to. And that just kind of gives a testament to their product. So when they do their standalone, I'm quite excited to see how it looks. I have faith in them.
Yeah. The Index is still a very good headset. Like all things considered, like everybody's still using it basically, right? But over the years, I've grown tired of a few things. Mainly the weight is like so much now compared to others. And one thing I have, which like I think not many else people are interested in, is like a good pass through. Like the pass through of the index, if you ever use it, it's not really good. Especially for like LED lamps, which are on a different frequency. You see like everything just flickering. It's like the worst. But I use it actually for DJing. Like I have this little program called, I think it's called Mixed Reality. And you can like put cubes in your VR world and you can shoot through them into your like real life space. And I put one of those cubes over my decks, and then I can see my hands going into virtual hands going into the real hands, and then I see my real deck and I know where I am.
Oh, wow.
Few DJs do that, but not many actually. Like some DJs just put the headset on their head, some just lift it up a little bit so can sneakily look through, but my eyes are so shit that I can see shit through that. Even the index pass-through is better than that. Yeah, so what I would really enjoy to see like would be like really nice pass-through, which sadly the what's it called, the Beyond, I think the small one, right, which looks really good, everything considered, but it doesn't have pass-through, so it's a no-go for me. I definitely need that and want that.
Although I've seen within like the VR DJ scene on Twitter and other VR chat users, the Quest 3 pass-through, the mixed reality apparently is really good. Like I saw people like Bobby J kind of raving about it and stuff like that. Like, look how awesome it is. The pass-through's great. Yeah, I believe Tube has some augmented reality videos out where you could see.
Yeah, they do.
I thought that was cool as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
That was so cool. Yeah, I had to look at that too. Like, I'm super interested in all of that, especially like you can DJ hands free, which is super interesting too. Right now, I have like the index on, and I always wear them completely, so I can have a little bit more finger tracking, which might look more interesting to the like one person every 6 months who actually looks at my hands or something like that. But you always have like that thing where like the actual controller, right, which is in the middle of your hand, and for DJing, right, when you have to have these little knobs and everything, it's much harder to control. You kind of try to work around the limitations of that, and with if you can like DJ hands free, right, it's perfect, and with a good pass through, hell yeah. And I'm definitely interested in the Quest 3, yeah. So that looked really cool, those videos of them just DJing with a good pass-through, no controllers in hand. Really cool. And yeah, the thing Hayden posted about Tube was also really, really cool. Like, yeah, I think the whole basis of that is like, from what I gathered, like you can have like set a green screen option, right, to a certain color. And the way the DJs did it, they like just put wind or something like, and put the like not the pass through stuff, but the overlay in, and have like just a green window or something like of an image. Just paint it green or something, then put this somewhere, and then in the like with the overlay, and then just see through that basically. And I guess what then Tube did was just have the greenery, I guess, in the world itself, which is really cool. That looked amazing. Yeah, it was like, holy shit, what's going on here? This is so cool. Like, looked so much cooler than I would have guessed. Yeah.
I was actually quite excited to see that, especially with like a VR chat group doing it as well, because I believe that I started seeing it around the time like the Meta Quest maybe just came out or was being announced. I was like, wow, that's fast. I haven't heard about what the Quest 3 could do yet. There's already stuff coming out for mixed reality. This is cool. You see a guy DJing
Yeah.
and people dancing and someone's jumping on the bed. It was a pretty cool video.
Yeah, I was so tempted to actually buy it as soon as I saw those videos. But I put it on hold for now. Let's see if Deckard comes out soon somewhere. Like, actually talked to someone recently. They were like super positive about it coming out like towards the Christmas holidays or something like that. I was like, I don't know. We had so many instances where people believed it would come out soon and we didn't. So, but you never know. Like with the index, it just dropped like that, right? It's just someday you open Steam and there's like, hey, look, we have a headset now, by the way.
Well, at least
never know. It's big. It's funny.
You never know with Steam though, because a lot of the time they're really good. I don't know what they do with their marketing, but they're really, really good with their marketing. Everyone will know as soon as their headset comes out. Like the Steam Deck that came out, like I saw very few videos
that
for
was
it,
good actually.
but the moment the Steam Deck came out, everyone knew about it. That's all I heard in here. It was just the Steam
That is
Deck, this Steam Deck
true.
that. I've modified it here. I've done that, and that's another thing I'm really happy about Steam with is they let their customers modify and change their product, and I think they also kind of excitedly enjoyed what people did with their Steam Deck. I'm sure it's only the same within the virtual world as well. Again, if I'm wrong,
yeah.
tell me. But at least from what I've seen and heard so far, I think they embrace that kind of technological adventurer kind of thing. I believe there was a video I saw somewhere as well of a dude who modified his Steam Deck to run an index, which is really interesting.
That is cool. Yeah. No, you're right. Like, and definitely, like you can feel it. Like they're some kind of VR fan favorites a little bit, right? Everybody loves Valve in a way. Like even though we all hate a little bit on the hardware because it breaks sometimes, or because the cable, we still love it because also the RMA is great, right? The support is great. They're very lenient and everything like that. So yeah. It's I think it's like also something which is important, that you have happy customers, of course, and you connect to them. So that helps you a lot with marketing, right? They will do it like the mouth propaganda. They will tell their friends, "Hey, look, the thing is out. That's awesome, whatnot." Yeah.
Sometimes the best marketing is word of mouth. Although I'm not a marketer, nor am I huge in business. But like
free marketing advice from a non-marketer.
no, I'm just saying for like hearing from like within VR and this space of like what Steam and Valve does, it's like almost instantaneous the moment something exciting they do. Like the entire community knows about it, even if they're on a quest. Everyone knows about it. It's a very short period of time. Although with their standalone headset, and this is a gripe I have with all headsets or standalone headsets, is battery life. Like if I can get 6 hours out of it, I'd be pretty content. But with like the Meta Quest 3, I was excited to see all the things it could do.
Oh yeah.
But it only lasts like 2 hours.
Yeah, and especially I think if you use the pass through, like a lot of energy is lost in that because you need to constantly power the cameras, right? That's also something which put me off. But then again, I think it should be super easy to connect some power stations to it. That's what I heard. I don't know. You can drive it up to 6 hours. I think shouldn't be too hard. That's something someone told me at least. But then yeah, it's something external again, right? So out of the box would be much nicer.
I think, although that may be a gripe I have, but I'm sure given time, standalone headsets that'll last a lot longer will be something that'll come standard eventually. I, although it's still cool to see all the amazing stuff being incorporated, especially with like if you get the Quest Pro, that's the newer version that's out, you can get eye tracking and stuff, the pass through, all those cool little features where you can use your hands as controllers. All those things are super exciting to see
Yeah.
incorporated. Like they may be niche things to some. I'm sure someone who's never been in VRChat or any of this VR social platform. It's like, why would I care if my eyes move or having hands free? But if you're in the scene, I'm sure it is a really useful, cool little niche thing they paid attention to. It kind of shows they're
Mm.
listening to a degree that they kind of know what their customers want, and they gave it.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I really look forward to the future when we see all those things coming, like whole face tracking, eye tracking thing. It's gonna be so cool. Like I mean, everybody saw like a couple of videos on Twitter or something like that, and looks so much more alive. It's amazing. It's
Mm.
so cool. And yeah, like what you said earlier too, like the headsets just getting smaller, more battery life, whatnot. Really, really look forward to that. Like what the future holds in that regard.
Mm.
And I think that's where you then finally I strongly believe there will be some kind of turning point then when it like gets affordable enough and light enough and easy enough to set up that it will definitely enter like the mass consumer market. Right now we are not there. Everybody can like I think agree on that, right?
Mm.
But I think there will be like a tipping point, and because what I imagine like the first thing to go is like definitely somehow the TV, right? We buy these expensive, huge things you have to carry up through your apartment, place it somewhere, need to get rid of stuff which is there basically. You have to have like a special place for it. But what if like everyone gets a headset for themselves for like the fraction of the price, maybe a third of the price? You can strap that on and have the TV right in front of you
I believe that's
and
something you
have it
could
as
do
big as you
now
want.
with the MetaQuest 3.
I think so too,
And
but we are not like it's still like a little bit expensive, I guess, for the people. But I guess yeah, we're getting there. I mean, the Quest 3 might actually be cheaper than TVs nowadays. Haven't
yeah,
bought a TV
I
in
think
like
the Quest 3
forever.
is like $500-600. But with something you do much more than TV, it's still a better price if you like want to go dive into the world of the virtual. That $600
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
stretch you quite far. Like mixed reality games, social VR, if you want to dive into that, that's a whole other world with entertainment that the TV can't provide in general. Like going to a show where you get to see a DJ such as yourself. There are plays, there are
Mm.
filmmakers, there's virtual experiences. So that headset, that's $600 would be worth it if you kind of go a bit farther deep into it. Although I'm sure that's also something.
That is.
Ooh, continue. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry, I keep like interrupting
Oh, no,
you.
no, it's okay. I do the
But
same
yeah,
thing.
this is something more niche. This is something more niche then, right? Like all this like social stuff. I think it's more like a thing where people have to get over a little step where it's a little bit uncomfortable because what is this weird stuff, right?
Mm.
You just say to them, okay, look, here's this little thing. You put it on your head. It's very lightweight. Doesn't cost much. And now you have a TV. You can place it wherever. You can have it as big as you want. You know what a TV is. You have one basically. You can carry it wherever you want. This is something people understand and what they are familiar with. So that might be something which is an easy way of entrance into the people. But you're right. Like the Quest 3 does it already pretty well, probably because I've seen someone like washing the dishes or something, right? And having
Yeah, I saw the
like,
same video.
watching a movie at the same time with the. So we're getting that. Yeah. We're getting there, I say. Soon, I guess.
I saw the same video, and that was one of the things. Like, wow, they've done it already. Although to be fair, here in like the PC VR chat scenes, like you can do that with OVR Toolkit. You can have a window up watching a video, but it's different once
Yeah.
you're like in the real world with pass-through and mixed reality. It is a really nice feature and thing to add, and I'm sure things like that, as you said, is a great way to get people into here. Is like a little step in. I'm sure at some point they'll like go into the store and see this VR chat thing or Resonate things like, what is this? And they'll find their way in eventually. It's not. It's like everything's sort of
Yeah, I really hope so.
interconnected
It
in a
would be
sense.
amazing.
Mm. Although we have
Yeah.
we've heard of a lot of people kind of say like what got them into like VRChat or VR was some video they saw. So with things like what like you do or podcasts or what Rafflegator does with his videos, sometimes all it takes is
Mm.
someone seeing a thing or people having fun, dancing to music or laughing at a game, and that piques someone's interest. Like that's a very common thing we've heard very regularly when people coming into the scene.
Yeah. That's
Mm.
true.
Mm.
Yeah. I would love to see more people in here. I think it's all in all an amazing community. And
Mm.
like I said before, like just hanging out is so great. I mean, especially in the scenario we have which is something more like a normie scenario. If we come back to that word from the beginning, it's like you were like in your 30s, like we both are. Your friends are scattered all over the country, and you just want to hang or watch a movie with them one night. We all know that from the Corona times, where you just did that with like screen sharing and face cam and whatnot. But if you could get them to strap like headsets on and put them in there, and they get used to that, that's much more fun. I feel like it's so much more immersive. Like for me,
Mm.
like it's not too much different from us both sitting in the same room, right? So
Mm. It
it's a
is
huge
a
difference from going to that 2D little thing with the grainy camera to like an actual space.
Mm. Yeah, I could definitely see. Like, I was in VR during COVID, and it was a much better option to those things. Like, at least it's a lot more immersive. You feel like you're there, and it's not like you have to like strain your eyes staring at a 2-inch square of a dude that may or may not be wearing pants.
That is true. Yeah. I just
Mm.
don't know if like what will be adopted first, if it's gonna be virtual reality or augmented. I think a lot more and more people, I think, tend to say it's gonna be augmented reality, and it's probably that because it's like less scarring to the people used to the real world, I guess.
Mm.
Like it's not much that big of a step, right? It's not that weird
Mm.
like commitment to cringe you have in the first at the start, right?
Although, to some degree, the way I kind of see it is I have a feeling augmented and virtual reality are going to be kind of synonymous with each other to some degree. Like, if the way I see kind of leaning towards, at least with like companies' interest and stuff, don't take my word for it, but this is my opinion. I have a feeling like you'll see like augmented reality overlays and virtual stores that you can like opt to go into, and then you'll switch from augmented into virtual, and you can like hold their products and go see things, or you'll
Mm.
have like virtual ads or ads in augmented reality for like clubs here in virtual reality, like DDR. You'll see an ad for it floating around or something, and you can go see it in a virtual world. If you want to hold a
Mm.
concert, you can go do that in one or the other. Like if like Sirix's
Mm.
show, like with Rain Dance, I got to see, you'd be able to like go in augmented reality, see an ad for it, then go experience it, like all in the same within the same few button
Mm.
presses away. So I don't think it'd be
Uh,
one or the other.
that's an interesting thought. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've never thought about it in that way. That could be so interconnected.
Hmm. Yeah. Well.
They play off each other's strengths in a way, right?
Hmm. Well, with the world of the virtual and VR and AR, why not utilize the power of both to the best of the ability? Like you can go about your day-to-day life using augmented reality, not having to buy a GPS or use your phone, just have it right there, or even not even have it floating GPS. You can have an overlay to the road that'll just tell you turn left, turn right. It'll highlight the
Oh,
areas
it
you
would be
gotta
amazing,
go.
yeah.
You can watch videos wherever you are. Maybe their tutorials will no longer be video tutorials, but it will be like a virtual version of a tutorial so you can do the thing while actually watching the tutorial. So there's like, or when you want to
Mm.
go see things more hands on, or what say you from like a virtual perspective, you could then slide into virtual reality and do both. Because there's strengths in both augmented and VR, like full on both.
Yeah,
Why not use
true.
both?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like when it comes down to it, like VR, like it's like a different kind of immersiveness, I guess. Something like experience like clubs or music in general, or even dances or something like that. Everything that is like art, I guess, would be probably more interesting in a fully VR way, I would say, right now, with my limited experience I have with augmented reality, looking through those index fast through grading right now. But even if you see the videos and everything, like I think there's something which doesn't make it feel whole, like the difference between the real and the augmented. There's like this difference in quality or the feel to it, right? And that's just like might be a little bit better if it's like just one thing, like VR completely, right? It's more immersive that way. But who knows what the future will bring? Like, was it the Apple headset, which had like the showcase where you open windows and it throws like shadows or something in your real world, like in your real world, basically, or just combines it in a way that it feels like it. If we go down more that road, it might actually be that we can not separate the two, or the brain doesn't easily separate the two. So then maybe augmented reality comes just as immersive, I guess.
Something popped in my head I remember reading about last year. I think in Europe, there's a company that does like a zombie shooter experience, and you'll wear a standalone headset, and they mapped out their entire building in the virtual world. So you can run around fighting zombies, shooting stuff, and doing things, while also actually traversing the real life thing. So it's like a warehouse or something. And if you go up, you can see stairs in the virtual world. You'll actually be walking up the same stairs in real life, but things will look different. It's like a huge overlay to it all. Oh look,
Merles is coming.
XK Merles.
Should have been on Orange or something. I don't know. Never told me, so it's not my fault. Okay?
Oh yeah, you can blame
it's
us.
Just Merles. Merles cool.
Yeah, we've actually talked with Merles before.
Oh really? You did? I didn't.
Yeah,
notice.
a while ago. Hello, Merles.
Hey Merles.
No, don't tell me I'm interrupting you in your funny podcast session right now.
You kind of do, but just while you hopped in here, from a scale of 1 to 10, how?
Oh no!
Merles,
Oh no!
what
I'm
the
shifting the
hell?
blame here,
About the
Medlish.
weekend.
Medlish, I'm shifting
did
the
you-
blame on you. Your status is as green as your hair.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to. Nobody told me, okay?
Oh,
Nobody
sheesh.
told me.
It's a cameo, right?
Hey,
It's all going according
Hey,
to plan.
Merles, while you were out, did you bring the popcorn and beer?
What?
We need a pizza delivery.
You bring the pizza, yeah.
I would never forget about that. It's like right there. I left it over there somewhere. I really.
Wow, he's really backtracking, trying to figure out how to get himself out of this pickle. Shit. Crap. The car took off with the pizza in it. That's it. No, we're in the space, but that's okay. I don't know what vehicle you drive, but hey, no problem.
The pizzas drove away by themselves.
The pizza's alive.
Away. God dang. Where the hell do you get pizzas at? I want some of those.
Pizza Hut. They have the best pizza.
Pizza. I won't say what I originally called it, but hey, what the hell? Pizza slut. No problem.
Well, actually, Domino's is pretty good too, because they really do garlic.
You mean Domino's
crust.
Death Discs?
Yes, Domino's Death.
You mean
Discs.
Domino's Death Discs?
Yes, I love them.
Yep, gotcha.
Well, they actually changed the recipe recently. It's pretty good.
I haven't had one in a long time. I used to deliver it in college. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It wasn't what was on the pizza. It was just the bread. You could have used it as a hockey puck.
We're not trying to make you hungry, but a lot of the time we'll go on tangents, and sometimes it's food related. Mostly because me and my stupid puns.
That's good, though.
All of it's food related.
I was actually thinking the whole day about ordering a pizza today. So there's that.
Do it. Order the pizza. Order the pizza.
Yeah,
Go
I'll
for
order it as soon as I get out of
Give
here.
it hell.
Can I go now?
Can I leave now? Can I get out of my jail cell? I want my pizza.
We're going to keep this going for another 2 hours just to keep you from ordering your pizza.
Holy shit. He's got it on dial-up. You're not paying attention. He's over there dialing his phone going, yeah, the Uber driver will be here in no time. Just got to get the guy to bring it to you right where you stand. That's the hardest part. Mm-hmm.
Well,
pay him an extra 20. You'll be okay.
I am going to cut this here. I got to go get ready for work. So it's been an absolute pleasure getting to meet and speak with you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was awesome. It was
Oh, yeah.
really nice talking to you guys.
That was great.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, and also
And you're
again,
always
thanks for
welcome.
having this is at a EU compatible time. Like it's like 6:30 here right now, and for you, I don't know. Like you have to get ready for work, which is crazy. Yeah.
Well,
So thanks for hopping on this
Yeah,
early.
yeah, no problem. I'm working in an inventory shift, so this actually works out for both of us.
Yeah, perfect.
Do you have anything that you want to
Plug.
put in the bottom where plug?
Where can people find you?
Mostly on Twitter, I guess. Everything is Medlish. And if you want to check out my past sets, I recorded some of them. They are on Hear This. And it's like a Mixcloud kind of thing. You can listen to them there. It's also Medlish. Just type in to Google Hear This and Medlish, I guess. That's it.
Raptor, close us out.
And shout outs to all the homies. I don't want to name them all, but one is here already. Oh yeah, we also have the vanity thing from Merce's website, vrchatdj Medlish.
His quota's right here, man. He just puts it up right above his head. Don't forget this, damn it. I like that. That's great.
That's reading my mind. It's like, where can I find you? Oh, you just gotta Google it, I guess. Okay, what did I set this
I'm
website up for?
sorry,
Huh?
man.
vrc.dj/medlish.
Big shout outs to Merles with the website. And while we are
It's
also
okay.
big shout outs to Woody for the timeline website. If you've seen that already, that's also really crazy cool.
Oh, yeah.
We've heard an awful lot about that.
Like good software is always good. We need more of that cool stuff.
Oh, did you guys also know that OVR Toolkit has a event system in it now? You go in the settings and you can put in post events. Yeah. Like, have you ever used OVR and saw there are 2 events today? If you go into the little gear cog and then go into the the phone.
Wait, do I even have OVR? Wait, which one? I have the other thing. What's it called again?
Ah, yes. Indeed. If with OVR, you actually have an event system you can post to, and everyone who uses OVR will get notified that there's that event at
When
that
everyone
time.
gets notified, you can spam it like to everyone.
No, you can't spam it, but that will notify them that there's an event at this time at this day. You could say interested, not interested, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. Yeah. Yeah, I wish like the integration of like, I mean, the clubbing scene is pretty big in Voyage, right? Like, I wish there was like more easy integration into the whole UI thing of Vrchat, right? It's always like you have to exchange on Discord or whenever you have to exchange the streaming link, then you have awkwardly like copy that from your overlay or something, and you have to. At least we have like the copy and paste things now on the video player and stuff like that, right? On like the text fields, which is already pretty good, because before that you actually had to like on your overlay press like Control V or something, right? It was like a little bit of a pain. So everything that helps there. Yeah, would be so good.
Indeed.
Tupper, do it. I know you're the only sole developer on VRchat.
Yeah. Poor Tupper gets blamed for everything. All right, Raptor, close us out.
Close this out. Well, folks, no matter what we do in the metaverse and everything else like this, and it's great to have people that we've interviewed before and talked to pop in and say hi. But we're going to have to train him a little bit hard on the deliveries. We'll get to it and everything next time. We'll make sure he's there. Take care, folks. Have a good one, and thank you again. Bye.
Hello, everyone. This is just going to be a really small teaser for a show we started on Patreon. Just right after this little intro, it's going to be a bi-weekly show. We'll be talking about various things, conspiracies, fun conversations, maybe weird history, things like that. The first episode should be up on our Patreon now. It'll be open to everybody without a paywall, the first episode anyway. Every episode preceding that will be, well, behind the Patreon wall, but for you to see what kinds of things going on. Please feel free to go over there, check it out. It's right within our card, metaversedegen.card.co. That's card with 2 R's. And thank you very much to some of our Patreon subscribers, which is going to be Training Fangs and Forbidden Zero. Please enjoy.
I believe that aliens have been here and everything else like this. It just slowly, it's like letting the air out of a balloon. You know, you just let a little at a time. Because if you lay it out on the table, water's water, right? You understand that. But when you understand something that you've never seen and only get a glimpse, it's just like every creature that's people have seen or something like this, no matter what it is. If you don't have physical proof or have more than 3 people to prove that they saw the same thing you are and everything else like this, because you got to realize, you go back in history, we didn't have cell phones, and not everybody had a camera to carry around going, look what I saw. You know, it's a different story. Not everybody carries cameras back then. Now everybody's got a cell phone or had a camera, all this kind of stuff. Everything leaks out in a little bit at a time. So people, but your question, yes, I believe that there's other life forms besides us here.
So
no matter how far out it is or what.
My thoughts on aliens is I do believe they
What about
exist. I do believe they exist, but I'm a lot more skeptical. I don't think a lot of the sightings people claim are out there are as genuine as a lot of the community may think they are. I think maybe 98% of it is just people trying to share a story or hoping they exist. You know, a lot of the time when things go about and people want to take part, a lot of people fabricate a whole lot of things just to say, look, I'm a part of it too, to some degree. And I think a lot of it may be that. Stories, self-embellishing, a lot of those things. Now, in terms of like our position as a human race and aliens,